Hello everyone, today is Friday, September 13th. Just getting around to recording the video for the week, end of week update for all the fully automated strategies running on the Autotrader. So just want to show a couple of charts first. There was a really great trade on the crude oil 150 Heikin-Ashi tick, and this occurred about 20 minutes after the open, and you can see the sell-off here and then the test of the open, and then we were able to go short off the open range with the open range filter. So here's that trade again, just in a slightly different format. Didn't get filled here probably because of the look back to the blue bars, but we did get filled here and in a single trade hit our goal. The goal on this is 500, so a couple of ticks of slippage just shy of the goal, but just a beautiful trade here and a great example of the open range setup on the crude oil. The week in general was mediocre for all contracts. So this is the first time I've run the gold on a 150 Heikin-Ashi tick chart, and I basically used the crude oil 150 settings. And this is using the open range filter, so there was a nice trade off the open range filter, and then there was a losing long trade here, but that recovered with these two short trades here, and we were able to hit our goal of 500 with a couple of ticks of slippage. So gold has been pretty bullish recently. Interestingly though, today the money was made on both the long and the short side, trading above and below the open range filter, and still managed to have a losing trade and recover from that. So as stated yesterday, I changed the settings on the crude oil Super Renko 8 tick, and I added the open range filter, and there was a beautiful open range setup again on this chart, and this time with two contracts with a 50 tick target, and this managed to hit its goal in a single trade going to the short side. And actually the two contracts were 49 and 51 ticks, and this managed to hit its goal with no slippage. So very nicely done here, a beautiful looking trade, and the open range filter, really great trade here, just popping above the open and then selling off below the open and then testing the open and then selling off here, but the Autotrader catching the trade in perfect position, filled on our limit fill with a 2-tick pullback. So really well done, fully automated trading here. So this is the third chart with open range filter trades, this time on the 610 Heikin-Ashi. And so right off the open here, this trade, and then another one to the short side after the test of the open. So obviously a common pattern, a common setup, and the Autotrader catching these trades perfectly. Okay, the DAX on a Super Renko 6 tick, and this did catch this move off the open, but I don't think we're using the open range filter on this, and so no, we're not using it, but it did catch the move off the open here, the US session, and hit its goal of 500 with a little bit of slippage. Okay, a series of short winners here on the crude Super Renko 6 tick. Looks like 5 winning trades and 2 losing trades according to the equity curve, and this did 410 for the day. The goal on this is 450, trading a single contract. So I'll bring over the spreadsheet here. So this is the crude oil for the week of September 9th through the 13th, and interestingly enough, the Super Renko 8 tick on the crude came roaring back with a $4,000 gain this week after drawing down about $6,000. So I'm going to say that most traders probably have really short-term focus and would probably give up on this chart a long time ago because it had a losing couple of weeks, but I kept saying that this chart has been reliable in the past and it's probably going to come back, and sure enough it did. Now, granted, I did change some settings, and obviously that helped by filtering the trades a little bit, but this is quite a comeback. Now remember, this one is trading 2 contracts. So all the crude contracts were profitable this week, the second one being the Super 6, having only one losing day. The E-mini S&P, you can kind of see performance for today was kind of mixed. 3 charts didn't trade, and here's the performance for the week. Again, mixed. The best performing template this week was the Super 4 tick with a 60-minute higher time frame. I think these performances are still pretty respectable, all things considered. Remember, this is trading fully automated, no interference, 100% automated. Okay, here's the DAX for the week. Pretty poor showing this week for the DAX. You can see it was mostly red for the week. There were 2 charts that were positive for the week, and that's the 150 Heikin-Ashi tick and the Super 6. And then finally, the NASDAQ. Mixed for the week. The best performing chart was the NASDAQ Super 12, which is relatively new, and that did 1400 for the week, followed by the 610 and the 987. Now if we go to the summary page, this tells a little bit different story. So here's the crude oil. The Super 8 drew down about $6,000 and recovered a good chunk of that. So remember, we're only about 5 or 6 weeks into tracking this, and we're still positive here. The DAX deteriorating a little bit on a few charts, but as stated, I wouldn't give up on any of these charts in the DAX. The DAX is quite volatile, and this could turn around sharply. The Heikin-Ashi 150 tick in the DAX is the best performer on a single contract, followed by the 34 tick line break, which didn't have a great week. On the E-mini S&P page for the summary page for the E-mini S&P is looking like this. All green and numbers rising, and only 1 chart here in the red. I'm going to give this another week and maybe I'll remove it. I don't know. But the E-mini S&P performing well. The top performing chart here would be the 1597 Heikin-Ashi tick chart, and the Super 6 with the 6 tick higher time frame. These are pretty solid gains for a 6-week period trading fully automated. Coming down to the NASDAQ, best performing chart is the Super 12, and that's only been on there a short time. And then these others, still respectable, but just dragging a little bit. Hopefully next week we'll have a better week. That's all for today's video. Thanks.